wanted you to see how beautiful that background is before we start. But now you're gonna see me. Before I get into the review, I want to say thank you to Superview's first patron. This was her suggestion. Go over to the Patreon if you want to see full-length movie reactions. We're putting up new ones all the time, multiple a month, and yeah, let's do this. Stree is a 2018 Indian Hindi language horror comedy directed by Amar Kaushik. It is based on the Indian urban legend Nail Ba, a witch who knocks on people's doors at night. It stars Raj Kumar Rao, Shraddha Kapoor, with Pankaj Tripathi, Apar Shakti Khurana, and Abhishek Banerjee in supporting roles. First, really quick, there will be spoilers, but here's my spoiler-free one. Stree is horror comedy. The comedy works. It's very good, but man, that horror is what got me. That was freaking me out. And for Preeti, the patron, our first patron, the comedy worked for her, from what I can tell. But man, for me, that horror was excellent. It was freaking me out. The camera work, the sound effects of like the music, excellent. Loved it. The characters really good. There were some great twists that Ella made this movie stand out from other films like it. So there were some twists and turns. I guessed both twists, or guessed what the film wanted you to think for the first twist, which was that the main girl was Stree, and then I guessed with them like realizing it and not being stupid characters, like, you know what, I bet she's not Stree, and it's gonna be a twist again. But it's fantastic and highly recommended. It was freaking me out. Can't say that enough. We're gonna go beat by beat into all my notes from it, but if it's still out in your area, please check it out. I saw it on the last day it was available here, which was last Wednesday. It's Monday now when I'm filming it, and it's probably 5 years when I finally finish editing this, because I have no time to do that, but I'm gonna. Hopefully it's not too far from Monday, September 10th. Alright, to start off, that creepy red eye thing and how the camera tilts with the noises, that was fantastic. Loved how that started. It really set the tone for the creepy part of it. Early on with Vicky, I was wondering how his stitching talents would factor into the movie's story. But I loved how the main girl played him like a fiddle, but with his measurement talent, she was still impressed enough to like want to flirt with him, even though he really does not pick up on it. He is so dense and just adorable and not a ladies' man. I loved it. But the Vicky Please scene with his friends was hilarious when they were busting his balls. And then when he meets her at the veneration, that's the first moment. I'm like, ooh, she's the Stree. And it made so much sense with how the camera movement had her approaching every time he thought of her, and the music, and was creepy. So really everything, every level of the filmmaking process was working to trick you, and I love that. When the two friends are getting the rules to not get taken by the Stree brother Rudra, not finishing rule number 4 was hilarious. That was great. Does he ever finish rule number 4? Because I don't remember. If anyone can tell me, please tell me down below, because I don't remember if him saying it later in the film. Anyway, then we get off to a party, and I love the Shake Your Hips song. That had some great camera work, and it was reminding me of a Shakira video, which is unrelated, but you know, that's what it did for me. And this is when man, just thinking that Vicky is such a fool for peeing on the come tomorrow ray. I know he doesn't believe it, but it's just rude. And then it gets really creepy, and when his friend sees the Stree in the corner, and then she goes up and gets that guy who had the girl over for friendship, which I actually thought was his girlfriend for a second. But then afterwards, when he is taken, they do call out Vicky with his friend, like, for peeing on the thing. I totally understand why he wouldn't want to say it, but I love that he's actually taken to task for his recklessness. That was great. I appreciated them not just letting him get away with it or whatever, or keep it secret. Everyone at that party ended up knowing. And the girl comes and requires payment, and that leads to the dad giving him a sex talk, even though it wasn't him who like called her for the friendship. Which I love how that seeds the dad's secret for later, but the self-reliance, how it goes into a masturbation talk, oh my gosh, that had me cracking up. Again, the humor is really funny, but oh man, that horror really gets me. And then when he starts doing the list of stuff, the tail of the lizard, that was weird, but I love it's simple. Guys always do what a girl wants montage. Fantastic, running after the cat, trying to get the hairs. I loved it. And then as I'm thinking more about it, I was like, her being Stree explains why there was the creepy music. That's when I started picking up on the music every time she came around. But them listening to the music while they're in that taxi cab, rickshaw, I don't know what it's called, but that was really cute. I liked how it's developing, and she's still kind of a little standoffish, like she's not just falling for him very easily. But then I loved how the friends putting only 50 rupees of gas into the bike was seated. Like I was like, this is gonna screw him. And then two notes later, or 3 notes later, I'm like, yep, the 50 rupees petrol, screw them. But back to the 2 notes before that, Vicky taking her measurements is cute, with the fingers and stuff. I like her. She's keeping him in check. She's not like letting him do whatever he wants. And then I asked, is she the Stree? Can she protect him from the Stree? And after the 2 friends get stranded with a bike, the horror is excellent. It's freaking me out even more. I literally wrote freaking me out. And then the friend, they get into an argument, so of course they split up and like, I hope you get abducted, I hope you get abducted. Him getting abducted, oh my gosh, that's what was freaking me out. It was excellent. But then when Vicky realizes she's the Stree, oh, bleep. I don't think it bleeps it in the actual theater, but the subtitles were bleeped. And again, I'm talking about the music. The music is intense and amazing. But then when he meets with her dress, the vision he had was very freaky. But then, you know, when they actually go to get the Stree and she's not the Stree, that was great. And I really was getting freaked out thinking he might be taken by the Stree. And hashtag dagger girl, love that. When Jana comes back, oh my gosh, you thought it was great, but then he's possessed, and that was freaking me out. But I loved how it goes into him ruining all the writings like it was a strategy. And it really upped the stakes when it needed to be. Like, oh my gosh, suddenly 20 people are gone. Or it says 12 and then it says 20, so I'm not sure exactly what it's meant to be. But Vicky, when they're finding who the chosen one is for the city, who can save everyone, he finds out that his mom was a courtesan, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I loved that no one in the city had ever made fun of him, even though everyone knew but him. That really speaks to the quality of the people, and now in a very sneaky way you care about the people you don't even know who are missing, because like, wow, every single person there, not one single time made fun of him for that. But I appreciated that the alcohol label was blurred out. I don't know why. If anyone can tell me why the alcohol label was blurred out, maybe it was just because they didn't get product placement money. But yeah. And then his quote for that, what I said earlier, was, everyone knew about me, but no one made fun of me. Great. And then Vicky looks very dashing, I wrote. But then, oh Stree, come here plan, that was great. I was like, ooh, this is clever. They like, she's kind of, the ghost is dumb, but so they're gonna play on that and try to, you know, do the marriage and trick her. But then the wrench is thrown in with Jana showing up, and then the music changes from scary to kind of sweet and beautiful for a moment, with the Stree, when they finally do like go and confront her. But I do love the sympathy for the Stree. You know, there's not much told about it, not much time given to her backstory, but you end up feeling for her, and the music really helped that. The whole sequence was epic at the end. The music, again, great. That's what I wrote. That whole sequence was epic. Great music. Love and respect. I love that that's how they fixed it. They didn't, you know, supernatural kill a ghost or something. They found a way to do it without, just with a level of maturity and empathy. And she asks him, will you be my friend when she's leaving? The main girl, I'm forgetting everyone's name, Vicky and Jana, because I wrote that down, but she doesn't think of him as a romantic interest, which I was like, alright, cool. But then they're leaving, and then the cutting of the ponytail or whatever, is she evil? Like, I'm ready for a sequel now, and it doesn't seem like it would be a ghost story. It'd be kind of superpowered. Like, that's, I was thrown for a loop with that. But then the 1 year later when it said, oh, Stree, protect us, that's clever. And as my final thing, I said love, and I put asterisks. Love the song during the credits. But yeah, that was, again, I highly recommend it. The horror is excellent. The music, camera work, all work well together. I did guess the pretend twist of her being the Stree, and then I guessed the revelation that she wasn't a Stree, but I'm kind of just obsessive about storytelling, so hopefully most people who saw it, it was a true twist for them, but I do appreciate the effort put in to put those twists either way, and highly recommend it. If you've seen all these spoilers, I think you'll really get a great experience out of it. It's not a horror comedy like Shaun of the Dead, which is like much more comedy with horror elements, at least in my opinion. This feels like a horror movie with really quality comedy elements that inform character. But yeah, if you got all the spoilers, again, I think you'll have a great experience. Thank you again, Preeti, for suggesting this. Check out Patreon for full-length movie reactions and tell me what I should see next. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more full-length reactions and still do some movie reviews to the ones that are in theaters. Thank you, super viewers. And remember, don't stop. And I'm going to give you the background again. Ooh, look at those clouds and that beautiful, beautiful blue. Ooh, on the street, on the boy street. I'm such a dork.
What's up? If you want to find me anywhere, follow me at Manda Odang, MandaOhdang.
And since you're on the channel...
No, we don't have time for that. Follow me.
Okay, her link's in my description.
Thanks.